Hi, and welcome to my speech. Here's my audience. This is my dad, my mom, and my best friend Kayla. Let's get this party started. Your unvaccinated child could be a serial killer. An infant could die because they do not have the immune system to protect themselves from these common diseases that your unvaccinated child could give them, given that they came in contact with them. A pro to vaccinating your children would be that it makes society more safer and inhabitable for everyone because there's no diseases being spread from person to person. It also makes your immune system stronger, doesn't put other people at risk, and it prevents an outbreak. One argument that is used is that vaccines give your children autism. This has been disproven many times and is just blatantly untrue. The doctor who came out with the article and statement that said that vaccines did give you autism had his license revoked, and then it continued to get just disproven over and over again. So if you notice your child has autism after they get a vaccine, it is likely that they also had autism before the vaccine. According to the source Vaccines Protect You, a lot of people rely on natural immunization to vaccinate them instead of actually getting the vaccines. What natural immunization is where they just wait to get sick, and by getting sick, it increases the strength of the antibodies to decrease the chance that they were to get sick again in the future. An example of this would be chickenpox. A lot of people who get chickenpox as a child usually never get it again in their life. Of course, there are the cases where they could, but it's highly unlikely. The problem with this is that yellow fever, a lot of people die from it the first time they get it. So the pro to getting the vaccine for yellow fever would be it combats and strengthens your antibodies and immune system against yellow fever before you actually get the disease. So it would decrease your chance from dying from it or your chance of getting it at all. Another common trend is to not get the flu vaccine. The reason people don't get the flu vaccine is because of a common side effect of just getting nausea or feeling sick for 2 or 3 days after. According to 4 striking statistics about vaccines, the flu is the most deadly preventable disease there is, meaning people just blatantly don't get the vaccine because it makes them sick for 2 or 3 days after, and then they end up dying from the disease. But the thing about this is, in the article Why Immunize, they talk about how each immunization is extensively tested and processed to make sure it is safe for you and your children to have. So even though you may have those side effects of getting sick, it's a new disease entering into your body, so it may take time for your antibodies to grow stronger, but that doesn't mean that it is a negative effect. Doctors are making sure it is safe for you and your children. Why would not getting the vaccine affect those people around you? Like I stated earlier, people with HIV, AIDS, infants, or cancer patients who don't have the ability to get immunizations could die from the common cold. So if you come in contact with them and then end up transmitting the disease, they have no way of protecting themselves from it and could end up passing away from it. So another statistic from 4 striking facts about vaccines, 2 out of 10 adults forget to get the whooping cough vaccine. The problem with this is then they hold their babies or touch their children or anything like that, and their babies end up in the hospital with this disease. 2 out of 100 of those children end up dying from an easily preventable disease just because their parents forgot to get the vaccine or didn't, as for some people who do not agree with vaccines. So another statistic from the same source is that vaccines actually save the lives of you and the people around you, because they save 3 times the amount of lives as seatbelts. So that just makes it more obvious that you should get the vaccine, because we know how many lives seatbelts save. It could also prevent outbreaks. How is like the more people who are vaccinated, the less people who are going to get sick, hence preventing the outbreak. So another statistic from 4 striking facts about vaccines is that if we increased the 3-dose HPV vaccine by 80%, it could prevent 53,000 cases of HPV, obviously, in people or women specifically over 12 years old, which is insane. Another outbreak that happened was the polio outbreak, which a lot of people didn't get vaccinated for it because it hasn't been around in a while. But the thing with diseases is that all it takes is one plane ride from another country to bring the disease with them on the plane. So the outbreak happened because one person came over from another country with polio without knowing it, because they weren't showing symptoms yet, and then all of a sudden everyone around them was getting sick, and it's causing outbreaks because no one is vaccinated, whereas if they were vaccinated, it could have potentially stopped this outbreak from happening. So again, vaccinations, they make your immune system stronger, they protect those people around you, and they prevent outbreaks from happening. So what I ask of you is that even if vaccines are not mandatory right now, vaccinate your children, because it is just the safer option to go. No opinion or fear is more valuable than the lives of children in America or around the world. Thank you.